Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Steffy Forrester never imagined the day would come when she and Thomas would be standing on the same side of a desperate emotional battlefield. But that day arrives with crushing force when Taylor's life begins to unravel in a way no one at the Forrester family can ignore. What starts as quiet concern turns into full-blown panic as Steffy realizes her mother is slipping, not just emotionally, but mentally and physically, in a way that could become irreversible if no one intervenes. The signs are subtle at first: missed appointments, withdrawn behavior, sudden mood swings, and then the darker moments, the blank stares and trembling hands that tell a much deeper story. Steffy tries to tell herself it's just stress, just another wave of pain from Taylor's long and complicated history, but deep down she knows something is very wrong. Thomas sees it too. He tries to stay strong, tries to be the one holding everyone together, but even he can't deny that their mom is falling apart. The woman who once held their entire family together now looks like someone who is barely holding herself together. For Thomas, the guilt hits hard. He starts wondering if everything that has happened in recent years, the family drama, the betrayals, the endless war between Ridge and Brooke, has finally become too much for Taylor to carry. He remembers the nights she would pretend to be fine, smiling through pain, brushing off their worries. But now the mask is gone. Steffy is the first one to say it out loud. Taylor needs help. Real help. Not just kind words and promises that everything will be okay. She needs Ridge. And that's the one thing that makes this situation explode into something even more complicated. Ridge is with Brooke. Again. And no matter how much time passes, that truth never stops hurting. But this time, it's not about jealousy or old romantic wounds. This time, it's about survival. Steffy swallows her pride and goes straight to her father. There is no hesitation, no small talk. She looks him in the eye and tells him that their mom is not okay. Ridge tries to downplay it at first, saying Taylor has been through worse, that she's strong, that she'll bounce back. But Steffy won't let him hide behind excuses. She tells him about the panic attacks, the tears, the way Taylor stares off into nothing as if she's already halfway gone. She tells him she's scared. Not just worried. Terrified. Thomas backs her up, his voice breaking in a way Ridge hasn't heard since they were children. He admits that he doesn't know how to help their mom anymore. That she won't listen to him, won't open up, won't let anyone in. But when Ridge's name comes up, something changes in her. There's still a light in her eyes when she talks about him. Still hope. And that hope is the only thing keeping her from completely collapsing. That's when they both say the words Ridge never expected to hear. They beg him. Please do not modify it. Not a hint. They beg him to save their mom. Ridge is shaken. He doesn't know what to do. His heart is torn in half. On one side is Brooke, the woman he always seems to find his way back to no matter how many times they fall apart. On the other side is Taylor, the woman who gave him a family, who has loved him through his darkest moments, and who is now clearly breaking. The pressure from Steffy and Thomas is intense, emotional, and impossible to ignore. These aren't just his kids talking. These are two adults who are watching their mother fall apart and are desperately reaching out for help. Steffy doesn't hold back. She tells Ridge that if he turns his back on Taylor now, he will regret it for the rest of his life. She reminds him of everything Taylor has done for him, everything she has sacrificed. She asks him how he could even think about staying away when Taylor is drowning. Thomas adds that this isn't about choosing between two women. It's about doing the right thing. It's about being there for someone who needs him more than ever. Ridge feels the weight of every word. He starts to realize that this isn't just another emotional tug-of-war between Brooke and Taylor. This is different. This is life or death. He agrees to go see Taylor, but even that decision sends shockwaves through the entire family. When Ridge finally comes face to face with Taylor, reality hits him harder than he expected. She looks fragile, exhausted, like someone who has been fighting a losing battle for far too long. The moment she sees him, her walls crumble. She tries to be strong, tries to pretend she's okay, but the tears come anyway. Ridge holds her, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like the world has slowed down. Taylor admits she doesn't know how much more she can take. She talks about the heartbreak, the constant feeling of being second best, the endless cycle of hope and disappointment. She says she feels invisible, like no matter what she does, Ridge always ends up choosing Brooke. Hearing those words breaks something inside him. He never wanted to make Taylor feel that way. But intentions don't change reality. Steffy and Thomas watch from the sidelines, holding their breath. They see something shift between their parents, something real and raw. It gives them hope. But it also fills them with fear, because they know Brooke is still in the picture and nothing with Ridge is ever simple. When Brooke finds out Ridge has gone to Taylor, she is blindsided. She feels betrayed, confused, and hurt. From her perspective, everything was finally stable. They were together. They were building something again. Now suddenly, Taylor is back in the center of Ridge's world, and Brooke can feel history repeating itself. Brooke confronts Ridge, demanding to know what's going on. Ridge tries to explain that Taylor needs him, that she's not okay, that this is about being there for someone who is struggling. But Brooke hears something else entirely. She hears that once again, Taylor is pulling Ridge away from her. Old wounds reopen, and the tension skyrockets. Meanwhile, Taylor's condition continues to worry Steffy and Thomas. Even though Ridge has been there, even though he's been trying, it's clear that Taylor is still on the edge. She's emotionally raw, vulnerable, and clinging to the hope that Ridge will stay. That hope is both comforting and dangerous, because it puts everything back into something that will ultimately hurt everyone. But what choice do they have? Letting their mother spiral alone is not an option. Thomas feels the same conflict. He hates that their family is once again being torn apart by the same triangle, but he can't stand by and watch Taylor suffer. The pressure on Ridge grows every day. Brooke wants answers. Taylor wants reassurance. Steffy and Thomas want their mom to be okay. And Ridge is stuck in the middle, trying to be everything to everyone and failing at all of it. One emotional moment changes everything when Taylor has a breakdown in front of Steffy and Thomas. She admits she feels like she has no reason to keep going, no anchor, no future that feels real. Steffy breaks down, begging her mother not to give up. Thomas holds Taylor, trying to be strong, but he's shaking. They realize just how serious this has become. That's when they go back to Ridge, even more desperate than before. They tell him what Taylor said, what she's feeling, how close she is to losing hope. This time there is no room for doubt. Ridge is devastated. He realizes that Taylor's pain isn't something that can be fixed with a few visits and kind words. She needs stability. She needs to feel loved. She needs to know she matters. Ridge goes back to Taylor with a new sense of urgency. He promises her he's not going anywhere, that she's not alone, that he cares. Those words mean everything to her. But they also create a new problem, because Brooke is now being pushed further and further away. Brooke feels like she's watching Ridge slip through her fingers, and she refuses to go down without a fight. She believes that Taylor is using her vulnerability to pull Ridge back, even if it's not intentional. The tension between the two women becomes unbearable, and the fallout threatens to explode. Steffy and Thomas are caught in the crossfire. They never wanted to hurt Brooke, but they also can't ignore their mother's pain. They begin to wonder if there is any way for this to end without someone being completely destroyed. As Taylor starts to lean more and more on Ridge, her emotional state becomes tied to his presence. Every time he leaves, she panics. Every time he's late, she spirals. It becomes clear that her fragile recovery is built on a foundation that could crumble at any moment. Ridge starts to feel trapped. He wants to help Taylor, but he also knows that what she really needs is professional help, not just him. But suggesting that feels like abandonment, and he's afraid of pushing her over the edge. Steffy finally speaks up again, this time with a different kind of fear. She tells Ridge that as much as they need him, Taylor also needs more than him. She needs real support, therapy, and stability. Thomas agrees, even though it hurts to say it. They don't want their mom's entire world to revolve around Ridge, because if it does, one wrong move could send her crashing. Taylor overhears part of this and feels crushed. She thinks her kids are saying she's weak, that she's broken. It leads to another emotional confrontation, one that exposes just how fragile she really is. Ridge steps in, trying to calm things down, but the damage is done. Taylor feels like everyone is talking about her instead of her. She feels ashamed, scared, and desperate all at once. In a powerful moment, Taylor finally admits she is not okay, that she has been pretending for too long, that she is tired of fighting alone. It's one of the most honest things she has ever said, and it leaves Steffy and Thomas in tears. They realize that begging Ridge to save their mom was only part of the answer. Taylor has to want to save herself too. Ridge holds her and tells her he will support her through whatever comes next, but that she deserves more than just surviving. She deserves to heal. The future remains uncertain. Brooke is still hurt. Ridge is still torn. Taylor is still fragile. But for the first time in a long time, the truth is out in the open, and that changes everything. Steffy and Thomas don't know what will happen with their parents, but they know one thing for sure. They will not stop fighting for their mom. No matter who gets hurt. No matter how messy it gets. Because losing Taylor is not something they are willing to accept. And as the Forrester family stands on the edge of another emotional storm, one thing is clear. This time, the stakes are higher than ever. Lives, hearts, and futures are all on the line, and every choice Ridge makes from here on out could change everything forever. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.